Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, for the first time in a long time, a brand new episode of the Koop'd podcast. A podcast much like Wade Wilson and Disney, actually more like Disney, is definitely a stranger to pegging. As always, folks, my name is Koopa. It's been a hot minute, and it's actually, I had my YouTube page up here. It's been quite some time since I made a podcast, so I want to thank all of you guys who were clamoring behind the scenes, asking what's up. Life happened. Lots happened, but I felt inspired. I felt motivated. You know, I've seen the light. I've seen where things are going. I've watched Madam Web, and I felt terrible about it. But we'll talk more about that and then some, as we're going to talk about what I love to talk about on this podcast, and that's good movies. And what's better? Well, and I couldn't think of a better two guys to ring in this new year with me, the 2024. You know, and to talk about some Marvel movies and a little bit of stuff in between. With two of my favorite guests, starting from my middle camera, coming from undisclosed location on the island. It's Reggie. Reggie,
Yo.
It's been a minute. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I've been between our podcasts. We had like one commentary thing, and it's been a minute since I saw you, but I've been doing fantastic. Life also hit me, but we tread through.
That's also why I do a podcast, is to keep up with my friends who I don't get to see very often, because we're all adults. We're out here moving, and a man who's been making several move, one of my favorite people on planet Earth, DJ / FGC personality / Kansas City Chiefs fan. It's cool. Looking to go for a 3. Looking for that 3 feet.
One more, bro. Just one more, dog. Just one more. Just one.
Man.
You're
he's got
fan?
Hollywood in the name, but yeah, he is.
Man, I'm leaving this.
He has Hollywood in the name, but never too Hollywood to join in and chop it up with us. It's Banjo, my man. Banjo, how you doing, big guy? What's going on?
I'm chilling, brother, man. It's so good to see both of you, actually. Both of you. Especially because we're about to talk about movies. Because there's so much that we have just like loaded into the barrel for tonight's show about just movies. So there's just so much like between like, because of our love of cinema, there's so much that like we've missed, you know, and so much that we have like yet to talk about. But of course, you know, more importantly, Chiefs win another Super Bowl. No big deal. It's fine. This is very, very normal. It's okay. But we need to talk about you, and if you're all right, Koopa, because you paid money to go see Madam Web. I want to know the thought process. Was this sheer morbid curiosity? Were you with the adage of like, I can't judge this movie, I have to see it? Because I was not going to subject myself to that money.
Before you like answer that, this movie made like $5 million opening night. You're part of the $5 million.
It's true.
It spent more on ads. And the ads are just stock pictures with GIFs in the background.
All right, so first of all, Your Honor, I want to go on the record saying that I did not pay to go see this movie. My friend paid for a ticket. I haven't paid him back yet. So, number one. Riz, when you watch this podcast, I owe you $11 and maybe a session of therapy. Number two, you know what, man? It's definitely the old adage of definitely some morbid curiosity out of this one. I needed to see it, man, for a couple reasons. Number one, Sydney Sweeney, hot. Number two, Dakota Johnson, hot.
I agree. Elite milk.
Healthy, very healthy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I got to keep it a stack. I saw the Sony got me, man. You know, I saw the trailer for this movie. I like Spider-Man. I think Madam Web's an interesting character. I was like, I don't know how they're, you know, and I saw the trailer, and I'm like, you know what, man? I might be kind of into it. I don't know. Maybe this won't be terrible.
Oh, God, dude.
Nope. I was wrong. The movie sucked.
Oh, God,
oh
dude.
brother.
I basically saw the whole movie on TikTok, right? So, like, there was, like, certain shots of the movie, right, to where the boom mic was, like right here in the shot, bro.
No.
Like it was evident. It was so bad. Like And I didn't go see the movie, right? Because I'm a student of history when it comes to cinema, right? These writers, they wrote Gods of Egypt, they wrote The Last Witch Hunter, they wrote Morbius. So, shouts out to Sony, which I do want to talk about in a little bit. So, shouts out to Sony for just giving them a fourth or fifth try, I should say. It's like, you know what? Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go for it. Y'all write a Madam Web story, which I don't. I'm so confused, and I don't understand like why. I guess I don't understand why like this was the move. You know, I'm just confused. The movie from what I saw was just edited poorly, written worse, and it just the movie had star power, and they were just like, all right, this is go Sydney, go Dakota, go, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I just needed to see it for myself to see if it was actually as bad as it was. And, man, it was. Like, I think there were some redeeming qualities in this movie, but not for the reasons that they're supposed to be. I think my favorite part of this movie was at one point, after, like, the first villain sequence where everybody gets together, there's a scene where Dakota Johnson takes the other spider chicks out. They run out of the subway in the middle of Manhattan. They steal a cab. Dakota Johnson, they have a whole long monologue sequence in this cab where they explain everything that's going on, yada, yada, yada. Stuff happens. And then they cut to a scene in the woods. It's somewhere in an undisclosed location, New Jersey. Cab's still there on a dirt road. I start cracking up because I'm just like, how did that cab get there? Why is that cab here? Dakota Johnson then proceeds to drive the stolen cab for the rest of the movie.
Oh.
She drives it out of a motel. She drives it into the bad guy in a fight sequence. I'm pretty sure she drives it to the final fight sequence where there's a giant Pepsi-Cola sign, which, by the way, is how Ezekiel Sims meets his demise in this movie. Like, nobody bothered to call the cops in this movie. Like, she stole a cab. The planes are still on. Like,
no.
What?
No. Why would they? You know,
insurance will cover it. Insurance got it. It's 2003. How bad could it be?
God,
like,
dude.
Adam Scott's in this movie for no reason. For those of you who, if you spoiler alert, Adam Scott plays a young Ben Parker in this movie, right? Emma Roberts plays a young Mary Parker in this movie. So if you had Emma Roberts playing Spider-Man's mom on your 2024 bingo card, you probably bet on the Chiefs this season too. You know what I'm saying? Like
you must be a genius level savant. I ain't gonna lie.
It's just like the comedic, like they try so hard to not say Peter Parker in this movie. They try so hard. There's a game where there's a whole scene set at a baby shower for Mary Parker's baby, right? And they're trying to guess what the baby's name is. And just as someone's about to say Peter, a balloon pops. Like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon. Like, it's like, what's Arnold's last name? Arnold. Oh, wait. I can't read my own handwriting type shit.
Oh, God.
And then they only like that joke so much because Madam Web goes through these jumps in time because she can see the future. They do the whole joke a second time where the balloon pops.
No.
And I'm just like... No. For those reasons, I'm out, Sharks. Like, I can't do it anymore. I really had an ounce of courage in my blood to go see this movie. Am I going to go see Kraven the Hunter? I don't know, maybe, probably not. But I'm scared, man. I can't. Sony should never be allowed to take custody of this child ever again. Give it to Marvel. We've seen what they can do. I'm tired of it. Cut them off. We're done here. I can't do it anymore.
So you're not going to see Silver and Gold? The Black Cat movie?
No!
You're not going to go see, what is that, the El Muerte, the wrestler movie that they canceled and then greenlit again? Like, you're not going to go see that movie?
I do like Bad Bunny.
And then Donald Glover's behind it, so, you know, there's... Right?
Yeah, that might as well be an original project, to be honest. That character literally only appears in the comics for 5 pages.
Oh, by the way, speaking, just one last quick gripe I have with this movie. Do you guys want to take a guess of the combined screen time that the Spider Women are in their spider suits for?
I know, but I want to hear Reggie's guess.
7 minutes, like max.
15 seconds. Maybe a generous 15 seconds.
Bro,
no.
They showed they did them dirty. They did them dirty.
The biggest pump fake, bro. Like this is worse than like this is almost as bad as like the Star Wars bait and switch, bro. Like that's how bad it is.
No.
Like that they literally had them in the movie, bro. Not even for a full minute, bro. It's for all 3 Spider-Women, bro. And it's just like, God, there's just so many things. There's so many things that they could have done with this film. Yeah. But you know what this is? This speaks, right, to how powerful Sony really is, right? For Sony to just be like, just do the Madam Web movie, man. Fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? Do the Kraven movie. Who cares? We don't care. You wanna know why? Because Across the Spider-Verse comes out next year. That's why. That's why they're doing this. Because they're just like, we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna bounce back in a large way. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want. DC wishes they could do this.
And we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them later. But listen, if you're looking for my review of Madam Web, follow me on Letterboxd, where I gave it the big ol' 1 star. And Kraven's Last Hunt might be my 13th reason why. But that's neither here nor there, because we're here to talk about some good stuff. Now,
yes.
A lot's happened in the months since I've done a podcast. The last video I have uploaded here is I talked about the Mario movie, but I definitely did a podcast audio version like way after that. So it's been maybe about a year since they put out a new show. Since then, we've gotten Barbenheimer, which was sick.
That was great. I did that twice.
We've gotten that. We got let's see, Across the Spider-Verse came out. A writer's strike happened.
And an actor strike.
And an actor strike, yeah.
And an actor strike. So lots happened in between then. But one of the biggest things that's happened since we last recorded the podcast is the trials and tribulations of Marvel Studios. One of the last podcasts we did, it was a podcast me and Banjo did, where we talked about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and all of the hopes we had going for that movie. And since then, that movie's aged like milk because of everything happening around it. Between Jonathan Majors being convicted for domestic violence crimes and since being let go from Marvel Studios, a slew of some really disappointing projects, including the likes of, and again, some good stuff in there too. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, a bright spot in the last year. I think that trilogy has proven to stand on its own 2 legs. Well, I love the way they landed the ship on that. Season 2 of Loki was fantastic, in my opinion.
So good. It was like when Marvel misses, it's like a big miss. You know what I mean? Because we've come to expect so much from them, right? It's like it's kind of like the westerns of way back when. Like there's some really good westerns, but there's some really like stinkers or ones that weren't as good as the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? But like the fact that Loki could, like you said, Koopa, stand on its own 2 legs and end like Loki's story the way it did is literally just chef's kiss. Yes, it's so damn good, bro. And I'm just like they don't. I hope they don't go the Mandalorian route and make an unnecessary season 3. It's the show is perfect. The show Loki is perfect. You don't have to touch it. It's over. You can lock that in the vault and preserve it because it's so good. It's one of the best. It was honestly because we said this in anticipation to Loki and then a review of Loki, and we said that it is the best project since WandaVision.
Yeah, no, yeah. I have the same exact feeling. Loki, best TV show, in my opinion, that Marvel has produced. All the other TV shows have been really like WandaVision, post WandaVision, and post all that. Like post Loki season 1 have been either kind of mid or fairly disappointing. And then when Loki season 2 hit, kind of put my faith back into these shows.
Right.
So
yeah, and thank God, man, because like I said, where there's been good, Marvel's scored high. I give them their praise for that. But then you get the likes of, like I said, Ant-Man has aged like milk. that movie has not aged well, both in terms of where they're going big picture wise, and everything that happened with Jonathan Majors. You have the Marvels, which I don't think it's that movie's fault that it did so poorly. I think because of the writer's strike and everything that happened, I think that movie was kind of set up to fail. Even though I personally I didn't mind it, I definitely liked it more than I liked Ant-Man. And then you get something like Secret Invasion, which just flat out was terrible. I did not like that show at all. I was really disappointed with how all that landed. So, for a while, and everybody even kind of said it. There's that piece that came out. I think I forget which news medium ran with it, but they were talking about, does Marvel know what they're doing? Is Kevin Feige's, are they stretched too thin? They're putting people in charge of these projects that have never done TV or film before. So, has Marvel kind of lost its magic? And everything that happened with Jonathan Majors, they've never really put all their eggs in one basket like one person like that before, so, when all that came up, they're like, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to about face? Are they going to try to, I think given the way that Loki season 2 ended, they can easily just walk away from the whole Kang side of things and maybe, go a different route. We'll see what happens with this next slew of films, but I got to say, man, given the fact that looking at what's on their docket for next year, a couple of TV shows that you might not give a shit about or not, and one whole movie. So, we can talk about House of Harkness, whenever the fuck that's supposed to come out. Echo was the thing that happened. Did you guys like that? Anyone? Echo,
I didn't even watch it.
In the chat?
I mean, like I gave it a shot because I thought, of course, the most two compelling parts about Daredevil, right, was, of course, Kingpin and Daredevil. So, I watched it. I gave it a shot. It was fairly entertaining. It wasn't gonna, break the mold for anything. But this is just a standard Marvel story. I thought it was mid. Not to say it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it was exactly where it lands in the middle of the got the needle right in the middle right here. And there's some episodes to where it's like, oh, and then there's some episodes is like, oh, like that type deal, right?
Yeah, that's valid, and I will say I do like the way that Marvel has marketed that show, where it's just like it's a Marvel presentation, like whatever the hell they decided to call it, where it's like, hey, you don't have to watch this to get the big picture things, or like it's not, you don't have to have done all this homework, even though you kind of have to have watched the Hawkeye Christmas special basically to figure out what's going on there,
right?
We didn't even talk about What If Season 3. Or What If Season 2. I liked What If Season 2. I think that show
that was pretty fun.
That can continue to exist in its own little universe.
Yeah, that gave that What If Season 2 gave me the Thor representation I've wanted for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, so with good. Thor being just like not a malevolent ruler, but like that whole type of like I'm actually a demigod and I can just shut this shit down whenever I feel like it. Like y'all really don't run anything,
And
I understand. Like I understand that they're trying to make Captain
Carter, yeah.
Carter. I understand they're trying to make Captain Carter a thing here, but let's not lean like too hard into it, because you're literally just at that point rehashing Captain America: The First Avenger. So let's not rehash too into it, right? Really, what Marvel needs, and it's clear what they're finally leaning into, is they need the two properties back to really do some next level shit, which is they're getting X-Men back, and they're finally putting X-Men at the forefront. And then also on Valentine's Day, the Fantastic Four, right? We finally got the confirmed casting, and I'm just like, yes, this is exactly what Marvel needs right now. Because when it comes to like basically the mainline story, I love Spider-Man. We're getting another 3 movies, but I would like to see something different, and I think Marvel is actually starting to do that now, which is very, very encouraging.
Yeah, so I think we've teased everyone enough. Let's talk about the Deadpool of it all. So again, one of the biggest things that
oh my God, dude.
So again, like you said, a lot of what people are anticipating is just like there's been some skepticism, and including me. I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about the fact that Marvel completely upended their movie slate for next year. which, and in retrospect, that's probably a good thing. They pushed back Captain America 4, and they pushed back the Thunderbolts into 2025. And now Deadpool's the only act in town in terms of movies for next year. And we saw a couple leaked photos before the actor strike came out, and a couple more stuff a lot of leaked stuff beforehand. Shout outs to shooting in forests. I guess that's kind of that's the price you pay, I guess. But if you're the type of person that's out there looking for that stuff, go look for it. I'm not gonna show it here, obviously, but
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a couple of leaked things, and we got some confirmed things in a trailer during the Super Bowl. I got debated though because they hit me with you got to go online to watch the full trailer, and I'm like, you mean I got to look at my fucking phone while I'm supposed to be watching the fucking TV?
Look, I'm a Chiefs fan. I stopped everything I was doing. I said, yeah, bro, we need to watch this right now, bro. We
took
just
a long bathroom break.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, we got our first look at the next iteration in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and according to what this is, the 34th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're in our mid-30s at this point, guys. Crazy shit.
That's a lot.
We got our first look at Deadpool 3, now aptly named Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. We got our first look. We got our first look at it. A lot of what people are expected to be in the trailer popped up. The TVA looks like you're gonna be playing a huge part in what's going on here. We got to see some little. They didn't show us the entirety of Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit, but we got just enough to keep us satisfied. So Reggie, I'll start with you. Where was your expectations of Deadpool, before we found all this stuff out, and how are you feeling? We're about a week or so removed from the trailer. Have you had to call a doctor yet? Has it been up for longer than 4 hours?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, the way my Twitter works is I don't get the Smash information. I get the Twitter leaks from Deadpool just popping up randomly on my feed. So I saw it without wanting it, and then I'm like, okay. I guess I skimmed through it. I'm like, I didn't read all of it, but I'm like, okay, this is what I'm expecting the movie to be, and the trailer gave what I wanted. Essentially,
right.
It didn't give too much. If you're a key viewer, you would know what's going on in the trailer, and you would get all the little Easter eggs it's thrown out. But if you're not, it's it leads you into okay, this movie's going to be good still, regardless. So I'm expecting to have fun with the movie. My big thing was the actor and writer strike for it does not affect the movie too greatly when it comes out.
Banjo, how are you feeling?
I echo the same sentiments. I haven't been
spoiled. We said it. Let's go.
I haven't been spoiled by the leaks. Thank God. I will say a couple of my predictions and hot takes. Right. So look. So first of all, right, this movie will be top 5 MCU movie. Now, why do I say this? I say this because we gotta look at the director in his history. Right. He directed the first 2 Deadpool movies. Right. Which. This is if it's a Marvel movie and it's gone 2 for 2, it's gonna go 3 for 3, right? It's gonna go 3 for 3 most of the time.
Okay, Jordan.
The only one that didn't in the store. I mean, the only one that didn't in the store, right? So those 2 things, and then also the fact that X-Men are being introduced in some capacity. Wolverine is back. I don't know how this man Ryan Reynolds convinced Hugh Jackman to come out of from saying that I'm going to quit to being hey, come join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know how that happened, right?
He hit it with the Vince Carter meme. He's like,
yeah. I got one more in me. I got one more in me, bro. And also, the idea that the Deadpool franchise is just not missed. I think it was the second one or the first one that one of the 2 movies was the highest grossing R-rated comedy of all time. And I think it broke that record. So it's just when I see all these things together, I'm hard pressed to believe that this movie is going to be a success. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that with the whole multiverse thing happening, in the MCU right now, it kind of gives Deadpool the freedom to kind of do whatever he wants. So, is this going to be a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe story? Is this going to be another X-Force story? Is this going to be, it's with this movie, you don't know, and that's kind of the beauty of it all. And I'm very interested to see how Deadpool and Wolverine interact with each other, not only for the first time, but with everyone else. Because it's not only going to be Deadpool's first foray into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being introduced to that wide net of characters, but it's also going to be Wolverine's. We don't know if the X-Men are going to make their debut in this movie. We don't know if we're getting James Marsden. There's been rumors of Gwenpool. There's been rumors of what's his name? What's her name? Laura Kinney.
Oh my God!
Yeah, there's rumors of X-24. Like they're all over the place right now.
There's rumors of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's the one that gets me and makes me super excited because there's each rumor for each different Spider-Man that's going on of the live action, and I've been waiting for the Spider-Man Deadpool interaction for years.
I might cry, honestly.
I will cry.
Move me to tears. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way that you guys do. I'm glad you brought up Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. It is one of my favorite comics of all time. If you guys haven't read it, it is a four, at least that iteration of the comics. There's like a whole Deadpool Kills everybody else thing that takes place a little bit later. But Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe is a 4-issue run by Cullen Bunn, published back in 2012, where it's exactly as it happens. Deadpool kills everybody in the Marvel Universe, and it's fucking great, and it's really funny. And I think if there is ever a way for Marvel to hit the big reset button, it's with your character that can see things fourth dimensionally. We've only seen it a handful of times where there's only a handful of characters in Marvel's pantheon that can see beyond what we see. And that's She-Hulk and that's Deadpool. And I've watched the trailer 100,000 times. I'm so happy. And number one, I'm really glad that they're not neutering Ryan Reynolds into R-ratedness. We got a pegging joke in the first 5 seconds of the trailer. So we're not getting a watered down Deadpool. We're getting raunchy, unadulterated, Deadpool, which
as it should be.
As it should be. As it rightfully should be. I think the costume looks great. You know that the costumes are all going to look fantastic for these characters, given how, it's Marvel. They're always going to get that aspect of it right. We're going to get to see Hugh Jackman in the leather spandex for the first time. I'm going to cry. I'll cry. We saw a cameo from Pyro at the end of this trailer from the X-Men films, and he looks like he's in his Ultimate costume from the Ultimate comics, which is sick, which leads into the whole multiverse of it all, where we see a couple of set pieces where this movie takes place, and what I'm excited about is, like I said, the fourth wall of it all, where Deadpool can see beyond what we can see. What I zoned in on was that scene in the TVA where Matthew McFadden, basically just playing his character from Succession. Right, but in the TVA, they show two specific scenes. They show the opening fight scene from Age of Ultron, and they show the scene on the fight scene on the boat from Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And that leads me to two things, because we see a scene in what looks like to be the same woods in Sokovia where that fight takes place. Is it Deadpool that's going to bring the attention? It's like, wait, why is there two Quicksilvers in this movie? That doesn't make any sense. When they're going to show Captain America, it's like, wait, and that guy's our Captain America. He's a Human Torch in this universe, or something like that. So, could we see a Chris Evans play the Human Torch cameo? We can. There's so, and not to. We've already had a couple of confirmed cool cameos in this movie that, again, I've unfortunately been spoiled for, one big thing, but I won't going to say it here. But it was confirmed by a major news source that Jennifer Garner is playing Elektra in this movie. So we're at least gonna see. So we're gonna get some confirmation of a. If I see Ben Affleck in a Daredevil,
as Daredevil, I'm like,
it's fucking over. I'm walking out. I'm done. If I see Kevin Feige as Foggy, if I see oh my God, what's his name?
John Favreau as Foggy.
If I see John Favreau as Foggy, I'm walking out.
Not gonna lie,
I'm done. I can't.
I'll probably laugh. I'll probably enjoy it.
I would too. I think it would be, again, that's exactly why I think Deadpool is the perfect cleanser for what they want to do. Deadpool is going to come in here. He's going to fuck shit up. whether it be on whether this movie takes place primarily in the Void, in the we do look to see what looks like a Goliath in one of these scenes, the Void from
Yeah.
Loki. So Wade probably gets pruned at some point because he's bad at his job. Does Wade turn on the TVA? Does the TVA turn on Wade? Obviously, Wade. I love how they incorporate the TVA now because given how Deadpool 2 ended,
Yeah.
with Wade going back in time and killing his past selves, including the Ryan Reynolds before he does the Green Lantern. I just watched that movie again recently. So fucking not the Green Lantern, Deadpool 2. Just want to clarify. But I'm so excited, man. What I wanted out of. What I wanted out of Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness is what I'm probably going to get out of this. We're going to get the X-Men. We're going to get all that extended universe stuff. And then it gives Marvel the opportunity to literally pick and choose what they want to take with them. Like, so we're going to see some sort of incursion happen that's going to get everybody all fucked up and mixed up. And that's your segue into getting the, into whoever you want into your big cinematic universe, as he is Marvel. I am a Marvel Jesus. Like that line fucking killed me. So
he said it.
Like I said, this movie is going to make a shit ton of money. It's gonna be a box. It's gonna be a box office winner. It's gonna be up there with the Avengers films in terms of total grossage. And I think they very smartly plan this out. So we're like, okay, you guys are having some burnout. Yeah, we understand that. We're gonna give you guys some time to kind of marinate here, and then when if you guys want to see this big blockbuster movie in July, come see it. I will be there. Ready to cry.
Yeah, the press run for this movie is about to be wild as fuck.
We're gonna see Patch, bro. We're gonna see Patch. That's so sick.
The press run for this movie is about to be like something that we ain't never seen before, bro. Because like in Deadpool 2, we saw Ryan Reynolds making his rounds, network TV, late night TV shows, bro. As Deadpool, like the press run for this shit is about to be wild.
I'm waiting.
It's gonna be
I'm waiting for the Wolverine Hugh Jackman press runs tour of it.
Yeah,
and he's just coming out with Ryan Reynolds in the Wolverine costume. They're both just suited up now because his press runs for the X-Men were amazing too. So
yes,
I want so badly for there to be a scene where Deadpool and Wolverine get in the car together, and Wolverine just cuts the top of a car off, and he's like, "There, I made you a convertible, bub." That's all I want. I just wanted to lean. I just wanted to straight to the veins, man. I need all of it. I need a bub. I need that. I need the meme of him looking longingly at the picture because they'll do it. They'll give it to us. They gave us the Spider-Man pointing at each other, so they have to do it. In terms of cameos, like we mentioned a couple of people that are confirmed to show up in this movie and might not show up. Is there a character? Banjo, I'll start with you. Is there a character that you want to see? Who's your pipe dream character that you hope pops up in this movie?
If there was one character I would love to see in Deadpool Wolverine, that would absolutely just be like, oh my god, this really can't get any better. Like, I think people forget that Emma Stone is actually funny as shit. Emma Stone in this movie as Gwenpool, bro. If they somehow do that, all right, bro, y'all won. This movie will make $1 billion. I guarantee it. There's another movie that's gonna make a guaranteed $1 billion, but this is gonna be the one that this is gonna be the Marvel movie that makes the $1 billion.
I was not thinking that. That's actually really good.
What about you, Reggie? Who's a character you'd like to see pop up?
It's the Spider-Man people, as I mentioned before. Like, I think that's the $1 billion pushing because it's like you get like Tobey Maguire back, get a bit more nostalgia with people. It's just money.
I'm here for it.
But
if I had to pick one, if I had to just pick one, which is tough. You mentioned James Marsden. That would be sick to see him play Cyclops one more time. Would be awesome. And like we said, we saw how Pyro shows up in whatever this voided universe is. In his ultimate costume. Who's to say we can't say some? Can we see some Ultimate X-Men pop up? Can we see some Little Uncanny X-Men pop up? I'd love to see. I just want to see those original actors. Like if they can get Hugh Jackman. they can, James Morrison's making TV shows, and he can't be that expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's out here hanging out with Sonic the Hedgehog. He can't be that. He can't be that hard to get. Like, I just want to see those original actors, like Halle Berry, look like an authentic Storm. Like, like James Morrison donning like the stupid blue suit as Cyclops. Like, I just want to see it once, and I want to see it once, and then I can die peacefully in my seat in the theater, and then watch the movie a second time.
Yes.
So I can't wait. So July 26th, 2024. Mark your calendars, folks. That is the only time you'll be able to see an MCU movie in theaters this year. I will be there multiple times for multiple shows.
You should try watching one
together. Marvel can have my money in this one. They can.
Oh yeah, 100%. Marvel can take my cash for this one.
What's the most amount of times you guys have saw a Marvel movie in theaters before it left?
Ooh,
6.
What did you see?
I went back to see Spider-Man 3, or a bunch. Like, I think that was 6 times. I got invited 3 times, and then I just saw it 3 times.
I saw Spider-Man No Way Home twice, but I saw Avengers Endgame like 4 times. I saw that movie 4 times. Didn't get tired of it not one single time. No. Not once.
Mine's kind of a weird one. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming 4 times in theaters.
It was a good movie. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a really good movie.
I saw it twice on a date. I took Tuesday for girls to see Spider-Man Homecoming.
This is the gangbang. This is the gangbuster right here, dude. This is the Spider-Man movie, dude.
Yeah, so the bad guy's her dad. So I saw it. Then I think I saw it once by myself, and then I saw it with one of my friends. So yeah, that movie rocks. Spider-Man. Yeah. Speaking of characters that tangentially relate to Spider-Man, like I mentioned, we got that rumored Fantastic Four cast. And by rumored, I mean the worst kept secret in Hollywood since the strike came out.
Right.
This has been a long talk. And I think I actually had to go back and look at when this was first announced. The Fantastic Four got first revealed like 6 years ago or something like that. Like it got first announced like a while ago.
Pretty sure it got announced when Blade got announced.
Yeah,
it's true.
Speaking of movies that are never going to come out,
development hell, dog.
I've been waiting for that movie for years, man.
It's crazy. Like we're gonna get the game before we get the movie.
Oh,
yeah. Like the game is gonna the game comes out next year. We're supposed to get the game. Excuse me. The game comes out, I think, at the end of next year. It just got announced this year, but like we're probably gonna get the game before we get the movie. To be honest,
we are.
It was 2019 San Diego Comic-Con that they announced that the Fantastic Four was officially coming to the MCU, and for months and months after the fact, we had a director swap. John Watts was originally going to direct the film. The movie has then moved on to Matt Shakman after the fact. Speaking of WandaVision, so I believe he directed the entirety of WandaVision. I believe that's correct if I look this up. Yeah, he did all 9 episodes. And for a long time, we're like, who's going to be playing who? Because that's obviously this is the one where it's. A lot of people take the Fantastic Four seriously. Me being one of them. They're some of the Fantastic Four. Are some of my favorite, stories in Marvel comics. They're Marvel's first family, so it's proper that people want to get this stuff right. So, after months of speculating, and again, it's one of the worst for keep secrets in Hollywood, we finally got our confirmed cast for the Fantastic Four. Your Marvel first family will be led by Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Evan Moss Bacharach. It's coming not only coming in 2025, 2 weeks after Superman Legacy, 2025. So Kevin Feige is putting his dick on the table and is being like, "What's up? What up, James? Like, we're doing this thing." So, So, Banjo, I'll start with you this time. So, where are you on the Fantastic Four as a whole, and how are we feeling about this cast?
Okay. So being real, right? I personally don't have a problem with the cast. I love Evan Moss Bacharach as the thing. I think they hit that right on the head.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
I think they hit that right on the head. I think everybody else is cool, right? I know by this time, I get that everybody's sick of Pedro Pascal, but it's hard being so good. I mean, that's just the meat and potatoes of it. It's hard being so good, bro. Like he has his Infinity Gauntlet on. He keeps putting roles on it over and over again, bro. He's like The Last of Us. All right, sounds good. The incredible the Nicolas Cage movie. You know what I'm saying? Like he
great
just
movie,
keeps
by the way.
He just keeps putting these things out, like Narcos. Like he just keeps doing it. So it's just like people can't be too upset about it. It's just like Marvel's trying to get like the best available person to play the role. And I mean, I think Pedro Pascal is a amazing actor. I think he's a fantastic actor. And, he's dipped his toe in science fiction enough and Marvel enough. So it's just like, all right, come on. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Vanessa Kirby, I loved her in Fast and Furious. So I think she's perfect. I loved her in Hobbs and Shaw. I thought she was dope in Hobbs and Shaw. And of course, the last person,
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. I think he did an amazing job in Stranger Things. That's the only thing I've seen him in. But honestly, I think he plays, that bad boy role, right, pretty well, as he did in Stranger Things. So I think he's gonna, flourish pretty well, especially since he's also been given this family dynamic, right? Because in Stranger Things, he also had the family type dynamic as well. But now he's in Marvel's first family, right? I love this casting. I think people need to just kind of like embrace the new a little bit, right? We're not gonna get Iron Grufford. I'm sorry, that time has passed, bro. We're not gonna. And I know how a lot of people are upset that Marvel basically pump faked everybody with John Krasinski, right? After the Photoshop picture of Mr. Fantastic that's been circulating for years. And Sam Raimi was like, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on this, bro, even if just for a little bit. I personally don't care for it, right? That John Krasinski isn't Mr. Fantastic. I just want someone to play the part well. I think the cast as a whole is fine. I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited also that it's a period piece, which is something that, we really haven't gotten. Well, we did get it, but the Eternals just took too long. But with this movie, right, I feel like, what I'm saying, having this movie take place during the space race, right?
So smart.
It makes sense. Yeah. So I'm very excited for the movie.
Reggie, how about you? How are you feeling? You feeling fantastic with this?
So when it first got announced, I'm like, eh. And then I just did like a little research on like the people, and I'm liking every single one of these actors. Like and I just had it set, and I'm like, I wasn't about that John Krasinski casting. I'm like, I read a bit about like how he can't do it for a long time. My heart already sailed on that.
Right.
So I'm like, that's not happening. But Pedro Pascal, I'm like, okay, this is the man that's gonna lead it. And from my idea on like the future of the MCU, I see him being used so much more down the line, even without the Fantastic Four like in the name. I see him like being more of a Nick Fury role, like how he's gonna start cameoing in so many different stuff. Like 5 years down the line, it's gonna be like he's all over the place.
Right, because Koopa said that you said that you were a huge Fantastic Four fan, so it's like I don't think people realize like how much important like that family specifically is to the MCU as a whole.
Yeah, no, like if you are a new character in comics, they just pair you with the Fantastic Four to see how you're doing. And if you bomb, that's literally how it is. If you bomb, they get you out of here. If you do good, they keep you around. So it's literally what they did for like 15 to 30 characters.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four is basically just Marvel's boot camp. Like they kind of just throw you in with like, all right, if you can hang with these guys, you can hang with the big guns. And again, I didn't have a lot of exposure to comics growing up. I kind of had whatever my parents, could get me. And the Fantastic Four comics were always the cheapest ones in the comic store. So I read a lot of these growing up, and I fell in love with these guys. I love the concept of I think it's why I like the Fast and the Furious movies so much. I love family. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, you can't go wrong, bro.
You can't go wrong
unless you're in Alabama.
And, they'll see ya. That's another podcast. But like I said, this secret has been pretty like ill kept for a while now, so I had some time to kind of cook on it. Vanessa Kirby, I loved her in Hobbs and Shaw, and she's been great in the Mission Impossible movies, for the past 2 years too. So, I really, she can do action. I think that's great. Joseph Quinn was like still sort of the wild card for me when I heard the rumor first come out. I just saw the initials JQ, and I thought they cast Jack Quaid as the Human Torch, and I was like, wait a second, that's kind of cute. Huey as in the Fantastic Four, sure.
Right.
But Joseph Quinn I think is great. He's actually going to be he's getting a lot more exposure nowadays, post Stranger Things. He's going to be in the Quiet Place prequel movie. It comes out later this year, so we're going to get to see him act across Best Actress on the Planet, Lupita Nyong'o. So I'm excited for that. That's a day one showing up for that one. But and I just started watching The Bear.
How do you just started watching The Bear?
Dude, I'm so behind on everything.
Bro, you just started watching The Bear?
I just watched the first episode a couple days ago.
Do you like it?
I fucking love it. I can't wait to go watch more after I'm done with this podcast.
I have not watched it, so now you're getting me to watch it.
I highly recommend it, dude. It's so good.
All right.
Listen, the reason why I bad for Evan Moss back rack for this is specifically because of this show. Honestly,
all right.
Yeah, and I've seen the clips online, and I know and I've seen how great he can be, so I'm very excited for that. And the Pedro of it all, like I said, people I'm sure are experiencing Pedro fatigue. I'm not. I love the fact that this Chilean Latino handsome god is like he's our Mr. Fantastic, and like you said, the thing that Marvel has lacked a lot, and going back through a lot of their films is star power. When they got Robert Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. is not at the height of his powers as he was here. This is a Robert Downey Jr. recovering from a myriad of drug problems in the 80s. Robert Downey Jr. So Marvel was able to capture a lot of these guys and make stars out of them. But we have an Avengers movie coming out next year supposedly. And, as much as I like guys like Anthony Mackie, or as much as I like guys, and, God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman passing away definitely kind of put a hard, stop on things of what they're going to do with Black Panther. They need someone when I see Pedro Pascal, I see a leader. I see somebody who can step into this role and lead a team of people, into the fray of Kang or, to be determined at a later time, whatever that movie's going to be called. So I see, like you said, they can use Pedro Pascal in that role as someone who can lead multiple teams, as someone who's been in front of multiple leads, who can go a little crazy, what I'm saying? Because Reed Richards goes kind of mad and he gets kind of a little nuts in the comic books. And for all those people out there that are hating on the casting, that are just like, I think you just might not like Spanish people. I don't know. I'll come out and say it. Like a lot of people felt the way about him being Joel in The Last of Us, and he crushed it. So,
no.
I honestly thought that man was going to sweep during the Emmys. Yeah. So that's just me though. Thank you. Okay, I'm not the only one. All right. So, I'm looking at that cast, bro, and I agree 100% with your sentiment because, it's so hard to just imagine, okay, who is supposed to be the superpower team that's supposed to take down whoever the big bad is? And it just makes more sense for the Fantastic Four to be announced now, just so they can introduce Doom.
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
It just makes sense, right?
We'll get to Doom of it all in a second. I just want to say on the rest of the casting, in terms of just who was rumored to be in that role again. I thought John Krasinski was great stunt casting. I think he did a great job getting dismantled by Wanda in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Emmy-winning performance. Yeah, my dude got fucking smoked.
Yep, Mr. Yarn.
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
He didn't stand a fucking chance in that fight.
Yeah, bro.
But I think he was great stunt casting, and that's it. I loved it. I love that Marvel listens to their fans, which leads me to believe, by the way, if we don't get going back to Wolverine real quick, if we don't get a Channing Tatum as Gambit cameo at some point in the future, I'm just saying, because Marvel listens to this shit. There's but like I was listening to the people that they're rooming for that role. Like Adam Driver feels a little too safe. Like I don't really buy that. I think he's great, but like, they could have done better. Penn Badgley, you told me Joe from You gonna lead a Fantastic Four, bro. I'm good.
He got the look.
He got the look, but like, my dude's messy. A little messy. I know. But I think it would have been fine. But I think they needed some star power in that role, and I think Pedro Pascal provides that. And I love the fact that it's a period piece, setting it during a space race.
Yes.
I think it gives them some agency of how they reintroduce these characters. Does Doctor Strange know that they charted in the 60s, or is he just making a joke? You know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
I'm excited to see how they kind of, introduce these characters into the foray of things. Like, do they exist in a universe where the Avengers don't exist? Or like, did all these old guys like Hank Pym just forget about the Fantastic Four for 30 years and just not talk about them anymore? Like, are we maybe we're gonna find out that Avengers Tower got bought out by Baxter Corp? Maybe finally.
Maybe it's a lost in space story.
Yeah.
Maybe that too. Yes, there's a bunch of ways they can go with it. I think setting it in the 60s is great. And I love that little poster they did. Like everybody looks so well and so well drawn. If that's what they're gonna look like, they're gonna look fantastic. I'm really, really excited, man. I've been yearning for a good Fantastic Four movie for so long. Like those Fox films are tough, and we don't talk about Fan Force. That movie sucks.
Tough is a kind word.
Right. Honestly, there's some like. They got this whole thing, this whole scope of just like, let's make the movie more grounded. Why? Like, why are we making Fantastic Four a grounded movie? These people travel into space, they go into different dimensions, and they work for the government. Like, okay, come on, guys,
I'll pass.
Grounded is the last thing you can do with them,
right?
But yeah, I'm excited. January is going to be chock full of some action. I can't wait to see how this movie does toe-to-toe with Superman. Maybe we'll have two really good superhero movies going back and forth with each other in come next July.
I want so bad. I want so bad for them to just take a lesson from last year. Just do the Barbenheimer thing, dude. Put them on the same day.
No.
Put them on the same. Put them on the same weekend,
Make
dude.
them fight.
I'm down. Put Fantastic Four on Wednesday. Put Fantastic Four on Wednesday, and then put Superman on Friday, dude. Just do both.
Banjo's literally here, like the Godzilla versus King Kong. He's like, make them fight.
Make them fight, dude.
Fantastic Four. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as Barbenheimer.
Superman 4, no Richard Pryor though.
God rest his soul.
Not this time.
Maybe next time. But yeah, so we got the Fantastic Four, and now that leads us to what the big elephant in the room left is the Doctor Doom of it all. So obviously, given the direction that Marvel could be taking, there's a lot of talk. If Secret Wars is still the end game, you do have to establish your Doctor Doom at some point because you can't have Secret War and Battle World without Doctor Doom in it. So I'll start with Reggie. Who is there an actor that you would like to see portray this character? Like, is there anyone on the top of your head that's just like, yeah, I think this is my Victor Von Doom.
To be honest, Victor is like a super complex character. Just to go on, I can't really think of one. Whenever I think of an actor, I'm like, they could mess this up for me. Or they're too old to be they're out of like the age range. That's the thing, because he's supposed to be wise and like all knowing, but super arrogant and young at the time. So it's really conflicting. I want to trust in, I guess, Marvel's choice on who they pick, because this is the yin and yang. They have Pedro Pascal. They need a yang to this, right?
That's a very good point. I love that. What
about you, Banjo? What direction would you like to see them go? What's their name you got in mind?
Man. Because we know, Doctor Doom rumors have been swirling around for a while.
Yeah.
There was one that dropped on my desk today. Someone said Henry Cavill. I said, I said, you know,
he's too handsome.
So he can look the.
He's not broken enough.
He can look the part of like pre-injury Doom, or like whatever iteration they want to like do of Doom. I just don't think he's never played a role where he's talking so much. I was like super wise.
Yeah. Like there was also another rumor that, it was an IGN article, and they said let's just get a mocap guy in there for all the complex movements or whatever, and let's just get a voice actor, and somebody should voice act him. And I said, you know what? That'd be good. That would lead me to believe, like, hey, let's go ahead and get Giancarlo Esposito to play Dr. Doom. I would absolutely love that. It's so hard. Like Reggie said, you have to have like a foil to Pedro Pascal sitting on the other side. When these and also Dr. Doom is such a complex character, and there's moments to where he's cunning and like maniacal and absolutely just like devastatingly evil, but there's so many moments to where he's so regal, it's hilarious. Like there's a comic panel to where he was like, you're saying that we have to move, that Latveria has to move here? Wrong. Give Doom your countries. Like what? like there's no way you just said this shit. There was another panel to where it was just like, you know what? I'll simplify it for the viewers, right? Dr. Doom is the ultimate hater.
Oh.
Yeah.
He is the ultimate hater. This man spites Reed Richards off bullshit all the time. Whether it be something as big as, closing the door to Dimension X forever, or I remember in the ultimate Fantastic Four run where the Marvel Zombies got let in through Dimension X, right? Dr. Doom said, I can't let you save the world.
Yeah.
I'll do it. So just let everybody know that it was Doom's spell that reversed the zombies, and it was Doom who sacrificed himself to go in Dimension X and fight Annihilus and fight the zombies. And then left, and we never saw him again.
I remember that run.
Wild. That's what this actor has to bring. My pick, Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah. Go ahead and voice act him, right? It's 2025, 2026, right? You guys are going to be able to do some crazy mocap stuff in Hollywood. We get it. Make him if there has to be a pick, Giancarlo is my pick.
And he plays a mean villain. He plays he plays one of the best villains ever created for media.
Yes.
Long live Gus Fring and his chain of chicken restaurants in the Southwest. I've heard the Giancarlo rumor for a while. I love that, again, for those reasons like you mentioned. It's someone who's cunning, someone who's got, who can really lean into the villain aspect of it all. I've also heard Adam Driver's name tossed around for that a little bit too. Again, a little bit of a safe pick, but not a bad choice. I can definitely see Adam Driver as a Latvian as a Latvian refugee. We've seen him be a bad guy before, and it works out perfect. And I think he'd be great for the role. Cillian Murphy's a name I've heard tossed around for a while too, which I think would be.
Oh wow!
Again, if you're skewing with an older Mr. Fantastic, you have to kind of keep pace with that a little bit. Given that Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom are about the same age. So
they were roommates.
Mads Mikkelsen they were roommates. Does anyone made that meme yet? But Mads Mikkelsen said that he wants to play the role, but Marvel's not going to give it to him because he'd already he was already exists in another movie. So
right.
That's when it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. Now, hear me out here for a second. Just hear me. I'm going to go very far out on a limb here. Right.
Listening.
Now, when I think of some of the people who've played great villains in fictional media, right? Marvel already has Harrison Ford in one of these movies, right? Like you said, why can't Mark Hamill? Anybody? The Joker? Voice actor?
You know what? You know what?
When I think of great villains, and when I think of Mark Hamill, my mind doesn't immediately go to Luke Skywalker. My mind immediately goes to the Joker from Batman the Animated Series. Mark Hamill has done great voice work over the years, and if you're gonna go to a point where you just have someone mocap as Doctor Doom in a suit, who's to say that Mark Hamill's a great voice actor, and he's done the whole mocap age him down crap before too. If you want to go that route with the deep fakes, but. I'm just saying, man. You already have a couple of Star Wars connects. Somebody definitely, Pedro Pascal might have his email address. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody here might have a connect to Mark Hamill. I'm just saying, if we're talking dark horses, and I'd rather see the role go to somebody else personally. But like, if we're talking people like I'm trying to compile a list of people who are really famous that haven't been in a Marvel movie yet. What's it called? Why am I blanking? Angelina Jolie was the one on that list for a while.
Right.
She's like people that are so famous that they'll never pop up in one of these movies. And now that these things are becoming more commercially, feasible for everybody gets to eat these movies. More famous people are popping up. Harrison Ford, a guy I never thought I'd seen a Marvel movie, pops up in a Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying? So who's left on that list of people who are so famous that if you saw them in a Marvel movie, it's or people like Giancarlo Esposito who've been around for so long, who've been around the science fiction genre for so long, you're surprised haven't been in one of these roles so far. I'm surprised Pedro Pascal has gotten a call from Marvel in the past already. It took them this long. Yeah. So I think in terms of people at the top of that list for me, I think Mark Hamill's not getting any younger. So it's I feel like in terms of if you're gonna go the mocap route with just a voice actor, I think that's my dark horse pick.
This actor, not for Doctor Doom, I kind of want to see. I just want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo role in Marvel. Just give him something. Something with 3 scenes. Same way they did with Sylvester Stallone. That's all I need.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
He's another guy where.
Yeah, man. Somebody who hasn't been in before, man. I go ahead, Eddie Murphy. I don't know, Eddie, just make Eddie Murphy Moon Girl's dad. You know what I'm saying? That'd be fucking hilarious. It's just make Eddie Murphy Moon Girl's dad. You know what I mean?
That'd be pretty good.
You get Eddie Murphy and Viola Davis as Moon Girl's parents, and just hilarious hijinks. Because that story is if we're going to start going the route of what is going to be the Fantastic Four, then we know the baby geniuses, the kid geniuses, and all the kid Avengers are going to come out, and Moon Girl and Franklin Richards are deeply embedded in that. So, I mean, why not now?
There's so many possibilities, and again, we have. Marvel's got a busy 2025 coming up soon. We'll talk about all that as more information about Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts comes out. Because like I said, I looked at some tweet today. Supposedly, Avengers the Dynasty is supposed to start filming at some point later this year, at the end of the year.
Wow.
So, we don't know who's writing. We don't know who's directing that movie because Daniel Day Cretton stepped away from the role to do Wonder Man, which I think is currently almost done filming in LA right now, from what I understand.
Oh wow!
We still have Daredevil to come out next year. We have a slew of stuff coming out next year. The fact that we're supposed to get Avengers from next year blows my mind. And we still, have to establish what the hell Spider-Man's up to, what Shang-Chi been up to.
We're supposed to get a Spider-Man.
What are Doctor Strange and Clea having fun doing and cleaning up excursions? There's still a lot of moving pieces to be picked up. I'm considering that Marvel is, I like the fact that Marvel's taking a step back this year, but at the same time, it's just what the fuck are they going to do for the next year and a half? They're going to have to really step on the gas or push those Avengers movies back a year, which I think probably is what's going to end up happening. Or just delayed Blade again. I don't know. Just do that again, because that's a what was. I'm trying to think. There was a movie that Marvel had that was in production hell for a long time. I'm trying to think. There is another one of those movies where it's just I'm convinced this movie's never coming out. Like, Black Panther 2. I was convinced that movie was never coming out. Like, given the circumstances of what happened, like completely different circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, we heard very little about what they were actually going to do with that movie after the fact. So I was convinced that movie was never coming out. Glad it did. By the way, can't wait to watch Tenoch Huerta steal Vanessa Kirby away from Pedro Pascal.
Right.
Latin on Latin crime, because my man is fucking hot, and I can't wait for I can't wait. That's gonna be funny as hell. I can't wait for all these things to be realized at some point within the next, year and a half before these movies come out.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that basically covers all the big stuff. Obviously, X-Men 97 comes out next month. For any, the X-Men animated series is one of the best cartoons ever made. That's all you're gonna get out of me.
No,
I'm gonna watch it.
It definitely is the best cartoon. One big thing I wanted to ask you two is: do you guys think with Secret Wars we're getting a soft reboot with everything?
God,
we have to. I mean, honestly, with everything that's been happening with the Marvel slate these past 3 years or 2 years or post Endgame, I should say, I think what they were looking for was a way to get some type of reboot or soft reboot. And honestly, if it's like gonna go the Secret Wars route of Franklin and the Fantastic Four reshaping the multiverse again, after Loki saved it and put it into a world tree, if that's how it's going to be done, then let it be done. Then let it reset, bro. Because that just allowed, because it's Marvel and there's not going to be any shortage of stories to tell. There's not, especially if you do it correctly. So yeah, get us a soft reboot and we go again. Yep.
I agree. I think given how Marvel's painted themselves into this corner, I think Secret Wars is going to be that last big send-off. They're going to give us back, other world versions of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and, we'll get to see all those, cameos come to life for one last big battle in Battle World, and then, we'll most likely have to see a reboot at some point. And maybe they go to route of, telling the stories of the Young Avengers. Maybe they go to route of, they have so many more stories to tell. They can do a whole arc on just X-Men stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do a whole.
They have such a huge opportunity, bro.
Can I get a Dark Phoenix story that doesn't suck, please?
That doesn't suck, please, bro. Can we involve the aliens this time? Can we get a more complex story about the relationship between Scott Summers and Jean Grey? Can we get Madeline Pryor?
Can I get a good apocalypse story?
Right, bro.
We're gonna kill Darwin in this one too. Like the guy that can't be killed.
To be honest,
so stupid.
Just might actually.
Even though I like Apocalypse, low key, I kind of like that movie.
Did you?
Low key. I have to rewatch. Well,
it's a really tough watch.
It's hard.
It's rough, bro. Like that movie is. I'm just like those X-Men movies after 3. I was just like, except for Logan, which honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if there's any reason for you to watch Deadpool and Wolverine, just go watch Logan. Just go watch Logan. It's the closest thing to a brutal ass Wolverine that anybody has gotten. Like, and James Mangold did a fucking amazing job on that movie. Like, so watch that movie. If you want a vicious Wolverine like you've been asking for, watch that movie.
Watched it.
I've been meaning to rewatch it for my letter.
Watch the trailer of Logan. The trailer of Logan is so great. If you watch the trailer and then watch the movie right after. Right after, because the trailer for it is so amazing, and then just watch the movie. I still watch the trailer from time to time to this day when I don't have time to watch the movie.
Yeah, because you can't watch your movies for free anymore on that one website that you used to watch movies on, right?
Oh no, I can't.
I don't remember this. You told me you watched some blockbuster movie on that website, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh, I watched I watched Logan. I watched Logan.
And that,
it was was just there.
You know what? On that note,
great title. I can't say it here, but it had a great title.
Oh, brother. And you know what, folks? On that note, I think they're gonna end it off for tonight. So, first of all, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the first step into getting back in the swing of things here. I got a lot of stuff planned for this year that I'm excited to talk about, and there's there's a whole slew of content that's coming out. You know, I got some stuff planned in the works right now. Currently, you know, there's a whole bunch of good TV and movies and film coming out this year. This is just Marvel stuff. You know, again, we have a whole, you know, there's a whole slew of shit to be talked about. And again, there's TV shows, there's casting rumors, there's all that. The Oscars are coming up. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. So I'm very excited.
Listen. You ping me for the Oscars episode that I know is coming, and you ping me for the Sonic episode. I know it's on the way. I know the Sonic episode is on the way. I know it's
coming.
And I have so many things to say about what's about to happen, bro.
Hit me for the Sonic.
I have so many things. Bro,
we're back.
We're back for the Sonic episode, bro, because that episode is going to be a banger. I
Koopa,
guarantee
you don't have a choice, actually.
Yeah. Right. Now we're telling you have to carve this day out.
I want you to know, at one point, at Shadow the Hedgehog's shoes, like custom made. It's over.
I can't wait. Once that shadow casting announcement comes down, we're making it happen. But which could be coming soon. Which could be coming soon. They already started recording voice lines today, so that movie's coming. And we'll talk about it. I'll pencil you guys in. And I got a really good content idea coming up that I think you guys are really going to enjoy to tell more stories on this podcast. But until then, we're going to plug the good stuff. Reggie, let the people know where they can find you, what you're up to, and all that good stuff.
You can find me on Twitter at player_4. The L's and I, so PIR_4 is what the kids like to say.
That's how the feds got you.
Yeah, that is how they got me. YouTube's still in the works, so stay tuned for that. And no, that's it for now.
Banjo, you're a busy man. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitch, or Twitter. Banjo Plays Banjo. Currently, I am casting every Thursday for Street Fighter 6 at Casa Bunch. So make sure you guys tune in for the kickback every Thursday. I'm on hiatus currently. Of course, Capcom Cup is coming up, and there's a bunch of like good fighting game stuff coming up. So we're going to be taking a break after this week, I'm pretty sure. Make sure you guys tune in to Casa, though, because they have a lot of good stuff cooking up that's just not Street Fighter as well. But, yeah, I'm there. I'm going to be there most Thursdays in the month of March and April. So, yeah, it's going to be a real fun time. And if you see me on the socials, I'm going to be spinning records, giving my reviews of everything that I've seen so far. I just saw the Iron Claw, and holy shit. Yeah. But in any case, I'm going to be out here on the socials, so y'all check those out. Banjo Plays Banjo on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch.
Absolutely. We're going to plug the good stuff. And again, you guys can check me out at Koopa NJ across social media. You know, I am a commentator extraordinaire. I am out here wherever I can get hired. If you're into the Pokemon TCG, I cast late night Pokemon TCG every Wednesday night, late at night. So you guys can watch those VODs on Twitch or on YouTube at a later time. But I'm out here, and you guys can also follow the Twitter at Koop'd I still remember my logins and everything. So the podcasts, gonna get one podcast out a week. That's the goal, obviously. New episodes are probably gonna go up on Thursdays. I think is what I'm gonna do. Give myself plenty of time to edit all this good stuff together. But check us out there. Again, I got some really fun content ideas coming up that I think you guys are really gonna like. So make sure to follow me there. We're gonna, and by the time this goes up, I will have made a TikTok account for the podcast. I gotta hit. Gen Z needs to know what this 29-year-old man is feeling about Marvel movies. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let the kids know. I gotta let them know.
It's on the way. It's coming.
It's coming.
I can't wait.
We got hot takes, baby. I wish I had a TikTok when I made my hot take that Janet Van Dyne had sex with Kang the Conqueror while she was abandoned in space.
Oh, so. What a take.
That's my hottest Marvel take.
Oh man.
They had to do something in that floating chair, man. I'm just saying. They had to do something when they were waiting there.
Hey,
Hank don't gotta know. It's fine. He moved on.
Yeah.
Never
Right?
did. I mean, 40 years, bro. You never did.
And now they're never gonna find out because
Never gonna find out. Yep, because he's gone.
We'll get there at some point. But until then, folks, have yourselves a wonderful time. Remember, just because you're cooped up inside doesn't mean you can't spend some time with us and talk about some of your favorite stuff. So until next time, we'll see you guys.
Uses.